Welcome to the 1% Show, platform where we bring your stories from our 1% community. Individuals who are committed to growing, improving, and becoming better every single day. Today, we have a truly inspiring guest with us, Mini Walia, businesswoman and educationist who has been living in Saudi Arabia now for almost 20 years. She is the founder of two successful playgroup schools and has played a significant role in shaping young minds in Saudi Arabia. Beyond her professional journey, she is deeply involved in social initiatives as well, and these initiatives that promote women empowerment, and is now stepping into the space of parenting coaching. Min is also a valued member of our Profluent Insight community, where we work closely with senior professionals to build confidence and master effective communication. So let's dive into her journey and uncover the lessons that can inspire all of us to grow that 1% every day. So let's call Mini on the stage. Hello Mini, how are you? Welcome Mini to 1% Show.
Hi, Vineet. First of all, thank you so much for such a lovely introduction of mine. And I'm so happy to share this stage with you today.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. And on this 1% show, actually, we have people who have really done something in their life. They've carved a niche for themselves. And you are one of those. And I'm sure that your story is going to inspire a lot of people back in India. So, Mini, you've been living in Saudi for more than 20 years, as I know. But where do you belong to in India? And how come that you came to Saudi so long back and done so much there in Saudi? So please tell us about your background.
Vineet, I'm from a very small town in Uttarakhand, Haldwani. It's a very beautiful town and it's surrounded with mountains at one side, and we have a Jim Corbett Park on the other side. So I am born seeing this stunning mountains and the chirping of the birds. And I love watching different species of birds. So I feel that somehow, because I was born in such a beautiful place, nature was so close to me, that there is something inbuilt in me that I have learned, I have developed a love for nature. I feel some connection with the nature, and from very early age, I've started learning these quiet lessons from the nature. So I don't know how it went, but it's became my hobby to connect with nature.
Wow. And how come you came to Saudi? But before that, Jim Corbett is quite close to your place, I think.
Yeah.
I've been to Jim Corbett once.
Okay, nice to hear that, because it was a like a every year destination for us, because whoever comes to our place during their vacations, we have to take them there. So I've visited in number of times to Jim Corbett.
Oh, that's a nice place to be so close to nature, to be in the jungle, actually, literally. Right. So, what made you come to Saudi after that?
Vineet, I came to Saudi just after my marriage, and when I came to Saudi, that land was very alien land for me. But when I look back today, I feel that it was a golden opportunity for me, because this land has given me a lot. I have developed as a person and as in my profession also. So, lot of love and trust has been given to me by Saudi. So I feel today that I'm blessed that I have chosen to come to this land finally. And to be very honest, when I go back 20 years back, the Saudi was not as open as it is today. So whatever land has given me, I have taken it. So when just after the marriage, after a month, I started tutoring this grade 9 and grade 10 students. And I start loving that too, because it was I was able to connect them being young to those kids, and so the learning path was easy. And then after 2 years, I've joined Indian Embassy School as a teacher. That was also not a profession that I have chosen for me. It has come to me, and just grabbed it. And I never knew I will be I'll be able to teach such young minds, that the age group of between 3 to 7. But as the time passed, I felt that I have learned a lot from them, and I can give them a lot, because I started feeling very confident and energetic around these age group of students.
Whenever I think of it, about one fact actually with you, Nani, that 20 years back, thinking even of starting a business, being a founder, and then you went on to open a school there actually, which was really a difficult, must have been a difficult proposition for you. Tell us about that actually. How did that happen? How did that even thought came to your mind that you should do something in education? You should start your own school. And when you were kids were too young then, I believe.
Yeah. Let me take you 20 years back with me, because it will be an interesting story to tell, because 20 years back, see, any change is not easy for anyone, for any individual, because change comes with its own teething issues. So when coming to Saudi was a big change for me, it is like, and I came just after my marriage. And you know that for the girls, after marriage is a big change. You have to adjust to the new family, new person. And after all, it's a change of country for me. So environmental change, the cultural change. So it was not easy, but I was a person who adapt easy to the situations. We know that we Indians adapt very fast. That's in our genes. So when I came to Saudi, I faced lots of there was a lot of teething issues, but where I was very comfortable with the change, because in my school time, I was changing my place very often. After my high school, my hostel life started. I've done my senior secondary from Jaipur, and then my graduation from Chandigarh, and then finally my master's from some other place, like from Uttarakhand itself. So I was like changing places very soon, but I never knew that these all changes are preparing me for some bigger change, which is like a change of country and change of place. But that became my strength. I have learned how to be independent, and I was meeting lot many people from different places because I was changing the places. So I started developing good connections with people. So, but all this has helped me when I finally changed my place to Saudi. So it came with its own teething issues, but with time, I have learned how to overcome all those issues. But when it comes to play schools, how that came in my mind, that was also Vinith. It was never a profession or a business I thought for myself. That I'll be doing something in this field. So, but it was not. It was not a business plan. It was more like a realization for me, when I really realized it, the urge in me to open a play school. It's again a very interesting story, because when I was in a Indian basic school, I was in a profession of teaching the students. I was looking for when my child, elder daughter turned 3. I was looking for the play school for her, So I visited the best play schools available in the town, but believe me, I was not happy with any one of them. But I have to choose with with whatever I had on my plate. So, but that day was like, it was like I can say that if I think as a mother, it was like a shocking for me, but it was a spark for an educator inside me. So I've taken that spark and I have committed myself that this town needs a better play school for the students. And one day I will have one.
I would say, Mini, that's fine. But starting a play school in a foreign land, and we are talking about 20 years back, that definitely is not easy. I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenges. So tell us about those stories, like some of the issues that you face, and not only the teething troubles that you were talking about, but also so the bigger challenges actually that like starting and running a school, and that too in an alien land. How was it like? So can you just tell us about those?
Yeah, Vinny, it's very true. The thought was easy, but implementation was not that easy. It has come along with its own challenges. And the first step, that opening a school, I have taken it. I've taken a decision, I have implemented it, and I've opened a school. But once I was into it, then I realized that then there are challenges to make it one of the best, if I want to make it as one of the best play school in the town. And the first challenge which I faced was the language barrier. And then, but soon I realized that the language barrier is something internal challenge, like this is a new country with new language. They will not change their language for me. I have to be like, I have to change myself and I have to adapt to this change. So the only two solution was with me to overcome this challenge was either I should learn Arabic or I should have someone who can explains me what the procedures and translate it to me, the translator. So learning Arabic in such a small time was not small span of time was not easy. So I've learned few words to communicate with the parents, those are Arab speaking. But to understand the procedures and the regulatories and everything, I was dependent on a Saudi person, and a person who can fluently speak Arabic. But this process, anyhow, has prolonged my way to achieve all this. So because there's always some kind of a communication gap. We miss out on something. And but I achieved it finally because I was consistent and I was determined to achieve it. So, and the second struggle which I faced was that now school is there. Now, how to get the students? So that is to build that trust in the society, in the community. But the best part, that advantage I had was my 5 years experience in the Indian Embassy School, and I was given different roles to take over there. So initial that struggle was minimized. I start getting the students. But again, when it comes to trust, trust you cannot build in a day. It is a continuous process. You build the trust brick by brick every day. So it depends upon your honesty, your transparency, your quality. And so with every passing time, we were learning, and we were honest enough that we will deliver the best to the parents. And the second best thing that was an advantage to me while building that trust was that my daughter was in the same school. So there was like, whatever I wanted to for my daughter, I want to give it to every parent. So I was able to connect with the parents with their fears, with their anxieties very well. So that was the biggest the biggest challenges I faced when I decided to open up my own play school in the South.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think these are the stories actually and the challenges. Sometimes the challenges also they inspire us. They really inspire us a lot. I personally believe the people who have not faced the challenge, they have not faced the struggle, they have not grown fully. It is because of the struggles that you have had and you overcame those struggles. And do you believe that these challenges, struggles, they come to us to make us stronger rather than test us or make us weaker? What is your opinion about that?
Vineet, I feel that everything comes to you to make you better. And see, any experience or any challenge or any struggle teach you two things. Either it make you learn something, or it will award you with some abundance. If it is an abundance, just take it. And if it is a learning, just take that learning and move forward, and never indulge yourself in those whys. Why this has happened only with me? Why this is happening? Because always understand that something is, if it's happening, it is because it want to make you more stronger, more ready for something which is waiting for you in the future. After every few when I look back, I always thank God that what I was asking so desperately from you for that particular thing, and thank God you have not given me that at that time, because that was not good for me, and what was waiting for me I was not aware of. So if I have taken that, I would have not got this. So always remember that God has always a better plan for you. कहते थे ना कि if it happens what you want, it's good. If it not, it is more better, because something much better is waiting ahead for you.
Absolutely. Wow, so inspiring, Miri. I tell you actually, when we only look at these stories as stories, but these are not stories, but these are the real things that happen with people. And we can learn from these stories, these challenges, and how people come through it and they become stronger. And then they realize that why did it happen? It happened for all the right reasons. And what you just told me is exactly the same thing. Yes, absolutely right. Tell me one thing now, Mini, after spending so many years working closely with children and parents, now you also want to move to a newer role, which is parenting coach. But before that, I would like to ask you, what are the biggest parenting challenges that you observe today? What I see a lot of parents actually they are facing a lot of issues and all that, right? I come across parents all the time. They are complaining about it that children have a lot of screen time. They don't listen to us. They have their own opinion and all that. Then we talk about all the stuff about generation gap and all that kind of stuff. So, what do you think? You have worked so closely with parent community. What are the main challenges that these parents are facing today? And I would also like to have some solutions from your side. But first, the challenges. What do you think about that?
Yes, Vinith, you're very true. The biggest challenge which parents are facing like now with their kids, it's a digital noise. This is the screen time they're very worried about, And most of the parents, they come to me also and they share this fear with me that my child is all the time on the phone and he's not listening me. They're not eating well. They're not into their physical activities. So what we should do as parents to avoid screen time or to reduce the screen time, so that I always tell them that just figure out what is why the child is attached to the screen so much, what the screen is giving to them and what as a parent we are not. So the three things which the screen is providing them is like a control. They know how they are independent to open the whatever they want to. And second thing, it's like the whatever they have on the screen, it's very engaging content, and they are maybe it is lights or it's the colors or it's the activities. So they are it's a very engaging content they're getting on the screens. And second, that screens are rewarding them and they are not commanding, so as parents we are very commanding. So we have to make sure that we want our child should be away from the screen. So whatever we are giving them in place of the screen, it should it should cover all those points, a content you want to be you want your child to be engaged in, and it should be a very engaging content. A child should enjoy it, and try to give a control to your child. You should not always be a commanding, and always reward attach some rewards to it so that a child feel motivated and curious to do that with you. And the second thing which I explain to the parents, that always remember that kids learn through actions, not by words. Action speaks much louder than the words. So when you tell them or you make some rules regarding the screen time, make sure that you are following it, because they will not listen what you are saying. They will do only what you are doing. If you're not seeing your screen during time, they will not do it. But if you are doing, you have no right to tell them not to do it. But no matter what reason you are giving it, no, I have to do my office work, or I have this is very important call, I have to take it. No, because then those words have no value for them. So make sure that what you are through actions, not words to them.
Wow, so inspiring, Mini. Well, let me ask you another question. It's again very difficult actually to move from one niche to another niche. You remain hardcore education, right? You have two schools now to look after. How do you get the time, and also where did you get this inspiration to be a parenting coach? What inspired you to be a parenting coach? Actually, I would like to know from you.
Yes, Vineet, a very interesting question you have put forward to me. It's like, Vineet, see, I'm into this field from last 25 years. So I have a toolbox of experience with me. Because now you name a situation, and I think I have it. I know a child's heart and mind in total, in totality, because which you will not find in any manual or in any book, how to treat or how to resolve this problem of a child, and even the fears of the parents. I meet a number of parents every day, and if I count, I think I've met thousands of people till now, and I can relate to them, to their problems, and resolve it in much better way. And second thing, which I feel that when you are into a profession from last so many years, then now it is a time to delegate it and give and share your experience with others. so that you are not into the same cycle and doing the same thing all the time. Now I feel that now it is a time that I delegate and I train my teachers to do what I am doing it, and I should spare some time and share my experience with others so that I can make some difference in the community, which has given me so much of love and trust in last so many years.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mini. I again the same thing actually. You see, we see a lot of people doing different things and all that, but most of the time we forget one thing, that we also have a duty to give it back to the space. Actually, we have taken so much more, and if we do our duty religiously, I think we can change the society, any society for that matter, be it there or be it here in India. And your story is so inspiring. But one thing I would like to ask you to just continue the discussion here. It's about my field actually. It is about communication. You you have been with parents, you have been with teachers also. You have so many teachers in your school itself. You interview teachers as well. How important do you feel communication is for parents, for teachers, and for working professionals? Do you think communication is really so important?
I feel that communication is the lifeblood of every business. And it is not important for the business or for teachers. I have a team of 50 teachers now because we are running two schools. So we have 50 teachers to cater. But it is not only communication is not only important for the business first people or for the person who are teaching or who are in the service, but it is for every individual also, because I always feel that effective communication makes effective connections. And everything is all about connections here. Because either it is a connection with your siblings, or it is a connection with your kids, it's a connection with your husbands. Everything comes with communication. So you should be very, very thoughtful when you are using the words. And the right words always delivers a right message and the right feeling, and everything revolves again around the feelings. Because people remember how you made them feel. They will forget the words, but they will never feeling they have when they were talking to you. So that comes only with the proper communication. And I feel that it is a very important tool. Everybody should learn that.
I remember, Minnie, when you came to us, you were maybe that a little hesitant or a little apprehensive whether we would be able to bring that kind of change in your effective communication or not. How was your feeling, and why did you join the program Profluent? And what were your expectations to begin with?
I love to share that experience of mine, with you and on this stage. Because see, when I am a very confident person, because and this confidence has come to me because of all those changes and all those experiences in my life. When I opened a play school, I was very confident with the parents, when I have to in one-to-one discussions with them. I can connect with them. I can share my views and I can motivate them. I can understand what they want to ask or what they want to know from me. But it is always like a fear in me when it comes to address the crowd. And there are a lot many events in my profession that I have to address the parents. So then I was always go to address with a very structured plan. And because there's always like a perfectionist monkey in my mind. We keep on saying that, are you sure with your vocabulary? Will you be having the right words at the right time? Will you be grammatically correct? Will be using a right enunciation? So there are a lot many questions all the time when I have to address the crowd. So then I realized that there's something I have to work on if I want to match my communication with my ambition. So that is something has taken me to win with Vineet's classes, and I have joined that. And I am proud to say that after joining the session, these classes has given a powerful voice to my thoughts. I can feel that natural flow in me now. I can express much better. And second thing that I always wanted to create a long lasting impression whomever I'm talking to. And these sessions with you have given me a lot of confidence to do that, to figure out my larger purpose and to make my short-term goals and long-term goals so that I can finally achieve that where I want. what I want to be today, to achieve it. So all this, thank you so much for all that, giving that much of confidence and skills to me to have that natural flow in my communication.
No, it's always a pleasure actually to work with people like you, Vinny, I mean, you were already so inspiring. And I knew that one thing that I liked about you is you are really action oriented woman. I very rarely we find people that who walk their words, they walk their talk. And you're the one actually who walk your talk. So once I ask you to do something, you do it immediately. And it's so wonderful actually to have you inside the community. One more question that I would like to ask you. Like we have different activities that we do. We do one-on-one, we do community, we do talk rooms, lot of video making and all that. And now this actually we have started for the community where we ask our community members to come live with us. So what one activity that you like most and why?
Yeah, Vinita, most of all, that the whole program you have created for the learners, it's very good. It has all the parts which can enhance your communication skills. You have one-to-one sessions, you have group discussions, then you have a make your own video and upload in the community that you can be a mirror to what you are doing it. So it's all as a package, it's very good. But if you are ask me that which is the best I like in these sessions is one-to-one sessions. Either it is with you or with Miss Anamika. I really love that session because see, it opens up as a person, because when you are in one-to-one discussions, because as you both make us so comfortable when we are speaking, because it's very difficult to accept your weaknesses and to learn that, and if somebody is correcting you, it's not that easy to accept it. So but when you are comfortable with the person who is teaching you, you are able to confront all those weaknesses, and you want to make those corrections, which becomes easier. So my best is like your one-to-one sessions. And second thing, what I love about these your sessions is that nothing can be delivered if you're not honest and genuine towards your work and passionate about. And I can feel that passion, that honesty, and that genuineness when you deliver to us. And it is like a great job you're doing. And I wish you best of luck that you keep doing it in a much better way. And you, every month, you come up with something very good, and it is so inspiring. And as you have come with these podcast sessions, which is like so interesting and so motivating, and it shows you where you are now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's all because of effect that I get from people like you. And I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. And this is the reason that we keep thinking about it. Now, before we move from here, I would like to, from you actually, I would like to have some advice, especially for the women actually who want to do something different. They want to start something, but they have inhibition in their mind that whether they'll succeed or not. So, what is the message that you have for these kind of?
Vineet, whenever I meet any women, I always say that ki believe in yourself and never stop dreaming, because dreams do come true. You just have to take actions, like and you should know, every one of us know that what is the strength in me and what I want to achieve in life, but we are just hesitant to walk towards it. So come out of your hesitation, work on your weaknesses, and strengthen your skills, and I'm sure that you will achieve it, because I have achieved it. So anyone can achieve it in their life. Be consistent and persistent about what you want to achieve, because consistency is the key to everything. And I have always seen that key, when you are passionate about something, the whole universe and the whole energies will align to help you to achieve it. So whatever comes, whatever you decide for yourself, just take a action and do it. And always tells one thing to all the entrepreneurs, they are those are coming up with something new in their life. They are starting with small startups. Like the something which is very important for any entrepreneur is to take a decision at the right time, because once the decision taken, is like you have to make it right. Decision can be wrong or right. It cannot that you have taken decision, because before taking a decision we always feel that whether it will be right or wrong. what will happen. So stop thinking that. The first, take a decision and work to make it right.
Wow, thank you so much. Really, it was so many, so inspiring. Your whole talk, actually, every question that I asked you, you came out with some inspiring answers and all that. I wish we had more time here, but I definitely would like to have you again on the show, and we'll have a discussion on something else. Like we talked about parenting today, we talked about being an entrepreneur, we talked about the struggle, challenges, and how you can be inspired from it. And you really gave some wonderful answers. It was really a pleasure, Mini, coming on the stage with you and asking you those questions. And then I really enjoyed every answer that you gave me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vineet. And as I'm on a journey of parenting coach, so definitely after few years, I'll be here to back sharing that experience with you.
Sure, sure. And wish you all the best for your future journey and all the dreams that you have. And I would always wish that they come true. Though you would face challenges, but I know that you have energy, you have passion, and you have actions to overcome all those challenges. Wish you all the best, Winnie.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you, Minnie. So this was Minnie for all of you, and I'm sure that you must have not only got what she talked about, but many things might be running at just in the background. That like, what is it? That how am I connected with it? So you'll find that some of the stories actually that relate to you because it related to my stories also. And now, when Minnie was talking, actually, I went back to my days when I was struggling, when I was facing those challenges, and how I overcame those challenges. So it was really great to have Minnie here. We'll have more guests and see you in our next podcast. For now, bye bye. Take care.